You are now listening to theGrio's Black Podcast Network, Black Culture Amplified.
What's up, y'all? I might be breathing a little hard because I almost just got in a fight, man. I was like, just, talking to the nice dude, right? And you know what he called me? I don't even know what it means. But he called me it just sounded racist. It sounded like a slur. He called me a BIPOC, right? Like, I like Tupac, but what's a BIPOC? I don't even know what that means, right? It sounds like, I don't know, he was insulting my sexuality or what kind of rap I like, or wait, maybe he wasn't. Oh, man, I understand what he was saying. I guess I got to welcome you to theGrio Daily, the only podcast that'll explain why I don't want to be a person of color. Colored people, we don't say that anymore now, except when you're talking about the NAACP, right? But lately we've heard the term BIPOC, Black, Indigenous People of Color. Some people just shorten it to people of color. They call themselves person of color. I don't know what it means. Everybody is a person of color, right? Like white is a color. So white people are people of color. Black people are people of color. Everybody technically is a person of color, except, okay, I got to admit, ghosts aren't people of color. If you're invisible, you're not a person of color. So aside from ghosts, though, who are technically dead, but I don't want to discriminate. I don't want y'all to be calling me a ghostess or a life supremacist. So I'm not discriminating against ghosts, but they are the only thing that I know that are not people of color. But the reason I don't like being called a person of color is because, what my color is. Like, it's white, my skin, I'm black. And most people, 99.999% of people, like being the color that they are, right? Unless you got sunburn and you're real red. But I'm black. You can see that I'm black. You just say I'm black.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
You don't have to include the indigenous person of color, because indigenous people know that they're not black or green or purple, right? Like, you always hear people say, like, I don't care if you're purple. When you seen purple people? Like, I never liked that. But anyway, the reason I don't like being called a person of color or a BIPOC or being looked into that category is important. And it's because the phrase person of color centers whiteness, right? Like, first of all, it's what they're saying is non-white people, non-European, people of non-European descent. All right, that's what they mean when they say Black, Indigenous, person of color, right? Because, like, white people are indigenous to Europe. But what they're doing is centering white Americans as the sun, and everything else in the universe is something that revolves around whiteness. And I ain't no white people planet, right? I'm a person, a human being who taught white people how to do things. My culture, my ancestors taught white people how to do math, how to use the stars, taught them science and literature, and then they took it back to Greece and Rome and taught other white people. But they all had to come to Africa and learn those things, right? So I ain't planted a satellite in the universe of whiteness. I am a human being. And everything doesn't revolve around white people, right? When you lump all white people together, you're saying that whiteness is real. And everything else, the black people, the indigenous people, the Muslims, Arabic people, Hispanic, everybody else is something else. And that something else you're defining as not white. Like, you just are not white. That's what BIPOC means, right? It means everything but white people, right? So here's why that's offensive. Because black is different from an indigenous person. I don't have the same culture, heritage, ancestry, ethnicity. It's a whole different thing, right? That you should acknowledge, right? Don't be lumping me in with everybody except the white people. Lump me in with black people, like, because you marginalize my identity by just lumping it in with, like, ooh, just a not white thing, right? The same thing with indigenous people, same thing with Hispanic people, right? Even the term Hispanic, I always rail against the idea of Hispanic thing because it really doesn't mean anything, right? Like the people who have Mexican ancestors, how are they different from the people who have Native American ancestors, right? Like it's just the whole river that's separating the two. Or the Pueblo of Arizona and New Mexico different from the Pueblo that is in Mexico? No, it's just the same people. We just arbitrarily drew a line, right? And now they're people of color, right? Like the white people were the people of color, or I guess people of no color when they first got here. As a matter of fact, to the Pueblo, there's a famous saying that they used to describe a man named Esteban who had arrived in America in the 1500s, before white people really even settled here. And he traveled from South Carolina to Texas, all the way across to almost near the West Coast. In the Pueblo scene, the first white man we saw was a black man. You were talking about Esteban, Estevanicho, depending on which book you read. But to him, Esteban was a person of color, the same as the white people invaded their land. It was all an other thing, right? And that is understandable when you had never seen anybody other than your own race or ethnicity at the time. But like we see different kinds and colors and shades and backgrounds of people all of the time. So don't just lump all the black and Hispanic and the Mexican and the South American and the Inuit, all of them people of color together. I ain't no person of color. I got a color. My color is black, right? And even if you don't want to call me by my color, call me a descendant of Africans, a descendant of people enslaved in America, a descendant of people, the Gullah Geechee people, descendant of somebody. Like, I'm cool with black now, but if that gives you the heebie-jeebies, then just call me Michael, right? Call me by my name, but not BIPOC, not a person of color, because I'm not some amorphous thing that just is identified by what he is not, right? I'm not I know I ain't a ghost, but I ain't white either. Because when you call me a person of color, again, white people have a color. So you're insulting me by calling me a white man or a green man or a purple man. I'm not from Mars. Although some people will contend that women are from Mars. Look, I am black, a black man in a world that has white people, black people, people from other countries, people of other religions, people like, I don't even know what people of color are, right? Like, or people who are white passing people of color, or white people who are pretending to be black, like Chet Hanks when he goes to his accent.
Big up the whole island, massive. It's your boy Chetana, coming straight from the Golden Globes, you know what I'm saying?
Is he pretending to be a person of color? I don't know. So to solve that problem, just call me black. Just call people what they are. And don't lump us in as not white. I ain't white, but I am a thing. And that thing wants you to tell a friend about this podcast. That thing wants you to subscribe. That thing wants you to download the theGrio app. And I also want to remind you that I always end this podcast with a saying, and today's black saying is, a black indigenous person of color is... I'll get back to you on that. We'll see you next time on the theGrio Daily. If you like what you heard, please give us a 5-star review, download the theGrio app, subscribe to the show, and share it with everyone you know. Please email all questions, suggestions, and compliments to podcast@theGrio.com.
I'm political scientist, author, and professor Dr. Christina Greer, and I'm host of the Blackest Questions on theGrio's Black Podcast Network. This person invented ranch dressing around 1950. Who are they?
I have no idea.
This all began as an exclusive Black History trivia party at my home in Harlem with family and friends. And they got so popular, it seemed only right to share the fun with our Grio listeners. Each week, we invite a familiar face on the podcast to play. What was the name of the person who was an enslaved chief cook for George Washington and later ran away to freedom? In 1868, this university was the first in the country to open a medical school that welcomed medical students of all races, genders, and social classes. What university was it?
No, this is why I like doing stuff with you, because I leave educated. I was not taught this in Alabama public schools.
Question number 3, you ready?
Yes. Let me try to
Okay.
redeem myself.
How did we go from Kwanzaa to like these obscure?
Sport, darling.
This is like the New York Times crossword from a Monday to a Saturday.
Right or wrong? Because all we care about is the journey and having some fun while we do it.
I'm excited and also a little nervous.
Oh, listen, no need to be nervous. And as I tell all of my guests, this is an opportunity for us to educate ourselves because Black history is American history. So we're just going to have some fun. Listen, some people get 0 out of 5. Some people get 5 out of 5. It doesn't matter. We're just going to be on a little intellectual journey together.
LaToya Cantrell?
That's right. Mayor LaToya Cantrell.
Hercules Posey.
Born in 1754, and he was a member of the Mount Vernon slave community, widely admired for his culinary skills.
I'm going to guess Afropunk.
Close. It's Afro Nation. So last year, according to my research, it's Samuel Wilson, aka Falcon.
Wrong. Wrong. I am disputing this.
I'm very 99.9999 sure that it is Representative John Lewis, who is also from the state of Alabama. That lets you know, Christina, we got some goodness come out of Alabama.
There's something in the water in Alabama, and you are absolutely correct.
The harder they come.
Close.
Oh, wait. The harder they fall?
That's right. I'm one of those people that just changes one word.
I mean, I know the song too well.
I just don't know nothing today.
It's
I'm going to pour myself a little water while you tell me the answer.
The answer is Seneca Village, which began in 1825 with the purchase of land by a trustee of the AME Zion Church.
You know why games like this make me nervous? I don't know if I know enough black. Do I know enough? How black am I? Oh, my Lord. We gonna find out in public.
So give us a follow, subscribe, and join us on the Blackest Questions.